confession to make. I used to have a big butt. Actually, that's an understatement. I had a huge butt, a badonkadonk. It was enormous. Now, before you all start shaking your heads at my severely unprofessional statement, I'm going to do something really quite controversial right now and say that everyone in this room has had a big butt too. To add insult to injury, everyone we know has had a big butt. Let's see if we can recognize these butts. But I'm not good enough. But it's too hard. But the Real Housewives of some state of America is coming on tonight. But I'm colorblind. But I'm black. But this and that and this and that. But. No matter how much denial we may be in, we all have big butts. Big butts are pessimistic. You cannot lead very well if you look at the thorns amidst all the beautiful roses. I agree with newscaster Paul Harvey when he said that there has never been a monument erected for a pessimist. A positively stubborn attitude can oftentimes make the difference between happiness and misery, between health and sickness, and even between life and death. If positive thinking could accomplish these miracles, then I choose to believe that in our world today, people who we consider successful leaders must assuredly look past their big butts and become optimists. This evening, I want to assure you all that optimistic leaders choose the optimistic route to their journey of leadership. Actually, optimism makes better leaders. No buts about it. Those who choose to be optimistic transform into successful, life-changing leaders. So you may ask, speaker, what makes an optimistic leader? Optimistic leaders do what I would like to call the leader stand. They stand up by looking for the best within themselves. They stand out by looking for the best within others. And they stand strong by fighting their best fight in challenging situations. The one-time editor of Simon & Schuster, Michael Corder, once said that to succeed, you must first believe that you can. As simple as the quote is, it speaks loudly. How on earth are we going to learn to lead other people if our mind frames about ourselves are, but I'm not smart enough, but I don't know what I'm doing? As optimistic leaders, we must imagine ourselves as winners throughout the journey, ready to face the defeats and hurdles we are scared of facing along the way. Along with believing in oneself, optimistic leaders stand out and look for the best within their followers. Optimists do not look at their followers and say, but these people are a bunch of bozos, a lost cause. I do not deserve this. I deserve better than this. Rather, they excite and arouse others to action by helping them see, believe in, and reach for what could be. By instilling faith and love within their followers, the optimist creates a smooth journey for all of those involved. Naturally, such a mindset motivates others to continue the journey through thick and even through thin. Speaking of inspiring others, I once learned a story about a farmer who took charge of his outlook. He did so by filling his mind with awe and gratitude, and he realized that doing this gave him the energy to work on his problems. Sadly, his neighbor's outlook was vastly different. So convinced that he could instill some awe and gratitude into this hardened woman, the farmer bought a dog. Now, this dog was not just any mutt. It was the most remarkable, exquisite dog the farmer could find. So he invited the woman to watch the dog perform. Fetch, he said, as he tossed the stick into the lake where it bobbed up and down the rippling water. The dog ran after the stick, he walked on the water, and he retrieved it. Now, what do you think of that? Asked the farmer. And guess what his neighbor says? But he can't swim, can he? The optimistic attitude of this farmer brings me to my last and final point. Optimistic leaders stand strong and fight their best fight in challenging situations, or all they will have worked for will go to waste. Author Martin Seligman once said that the defining characteristic of pessimists is that they tend to believe bad situations will last forever, that everything is their fault, and that one situation will undermine everything they do in life. On the other hand, the optimists who are confronted with the same hard knocks of this world perceive misfortune in the opposite way. These people are unfazed by defeat. Confronted by a bad situation, they perceive it as a challenge and work harder. Speaking of challenges, one of my greatest challenges in life was looking past my big butt and said, I've had enough of you. But everyone told me that I will fail. I looked my big butt in its face and I said, you know what, I'm done with you. Getting in the way of me living my life, of me being a happy person, and of me achieving things beyond my dreams. It was because of that attitude that I became the speaker that I am today, that I became my class president, but most of all, I became an optimistic leader for my friends, family, and people around me. I learned the power of self-esteem. And I believe Viktor Frankl would have agreed. Dr. Frankl chronicled his experiences as a Holocaust and concentration camp survivor in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. In it, he asserts something really quite remarkable. He says there is one thing that can never be taken away from a man. People, what can never be taken away from a man is the power to choose his own decisions in a given set of circumstances. That may be one of the most important decisions we will make. I never want to neglect making that choice. I want to reap the optimistic route of my journey of leadership. Please join me on the journey. By the way, there's no ifs, ands, or big buts about it.